Hello and welcome back to Matt Ryan Photo. I'm Matt Ryan and I am completely stuck in traffic right now. Cool. All right, so today's video is going to be all about the Olympus E-PL10. Now this is a very cool little camera. Very sleek looking, very small. Actually a very small little micro four thirds. There's no viewfinder on it. You can attach a viewfinder to it through the top here. There is through the hot shoe, as you see there. Not really concerned about that because I pretty much plan on using this as a kind of a backup camera for the most part, and for just going out and shooting some street photos and something just small that you can pretty much put in your pocket depending on the lens that you have. The lens I'm using here currently is the Olympus 14-42, so it's a little bit bigger just because it's a little more rounded out for what I'm going to go do now. But they do make other lenses that are quite significantly smaller. I decided to not bother with the 17mm pancake just because it's really noisy if you're doing video with it, and I plan on using this for doing video, but I want a little bit more of a zoom factor. So being that it's micro four thirds, there are tons of options available out there for different lenses, and I'll pick up some different lenses. Anyway, the nice thing about it is for like vlogging, the tilt touchscreen on the back will actually flip around. Now I am in traffic currently, so I am driving a little bit while I'm doing this. Perfectly safe. So it does flip around so that you can actually see the screen. But if you have it on a tripod, you're not going to see a whole heck of a lot, unfortunately. I guess it's better than nothing. Anyhow, so I'm going to meet up with my buddy Kua. We are going to head out into Minneapolis, and we are going to take some photos and some video. All right, I should probably pay attention to traffic here so I don't get killed, and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, so if you want to be one of the cool kids, what do? You go out and you buy yourself, if you can find it, a Fuji X100V. Well, guess what? There are other cameras that you can choose from. Like I showed in my previous video when I was playing around with the PL2 or PM2, sorry, my mistake. There are a lot of options out there other than the Fuji. Again, I am a huge Fuji fan. My primary camera is a Fuji X100V. I love it to death, and I would actually love to have a Fuji X100V just because of the size of it and what it can do. However, I'm not going to spend the amount of money on it that they're asking for that little camera. Sorry, not going to happen. I would rather buy a X Pro 3 instead. So, moving on from that, this is the Pen E-PL10. Pen E-L-P10. Okay. Olympus Pen E-L10. There we go. All right. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Anyhow, the 17 megapixel sensor in this. It is micro four thirds, so that means you have tons of options when it comes to glass for this camera, and very affordable glass at that. It also has an articulating screen that is also touchscreen and very responsive. It has RAW shooting capabilities. It has built-in flash, 3-axis stabilization that's in camera, so that's IBIS. You can also get lenses that also have stabilization as well, so that just adds to the stabilization even more. It's also do 4K video, and it actually does pretty damn decent 4K video. As you'll see here shortly, I'll show some more clips when it comes to the video, also showing off the built-in IBIS. Okay, so pretty much for the most part, I just went around with Kua and we just shot some photos downtown Minneapolis. This was probably over, I don't know, I think 5 hours. Let's see, yeah, about 5 hours down there. I think we walked about 7 miles roughly. Now I was also shooting on my Raleigh cord TLR, so I didn't shoot the entire time on this camera, but it should still show you the quality of it and how good it is and how fun it is to shoot this. Keep in mind, this cameras you can find for around about $400. So, as I said before, great alternative to an X100V. Kua had the genius idea to go up on top of this parking ramp and see, what we could do. So I had my TLR out and decided to get some medium format shots of, the skyline there. And I also had my Minox with me, so I had to get a couple shots of that. Ultimately, I had to, of course, use the pen. And here are some photos from this area. Now, I grabbed those photos and I decided it was time to put this into selfie mode and show you just how the video looks on this. So you just tilt out the screen, pull it out a little bit, and it'll allow you to fully articulate it to underneath the camera so that you can see yourself and go into selfie mode. And here is that video. All right, so this is the Olympus Pen PL10 or Olympus Pen PL10. This is the 4K video. This is also the audio on it. So, yeah, we'll see how that works. Look good? Look bad? Let me know in the comments. I will say the image stabilization on this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at this. I'm like walking with my arm, my arm stretched out. And I'm just walking. Crazy. The in-body stabilization on this camera is phenomenal. It really is. And here is some more video showing just how good it is. It's crazy. I think it's freakishly good for being a camera that is several years old now. I think it rivals even newer cameras. Honestly, I think it's better than my X-T5 when it comes to the stabilization, which is just absolutely insane. It shouldn't be, but it is. But yeah. So I'm not sitting here trying to push the Micro Four Thirds system onto anybody. I do think that it is a very underrated system. I have used my Lumix. I love my Lumix. I thought it was a fantastic camera. So I'm very familiar with Micro Four Thirds. I'm familiar with the limitations of the Micro Four Thirds system, knowing that low light is not the greatest for them. But what I will say is they do have fantastic strengths, and especially in this Olympus Pen, is in its size. And then on top of that, there is literally hundreds and hundreds of lenses out there that you can buy for this camera, and it'll use all of them. And there's some phenomenal lenses. There's Leica lenses, there's Voigtlander lenses, there's Olympus lenses, the regular Lumix, Panasonic Lumix lenses. There's some other off-brand ones like TT Artisans, 7 Artisans, which make fantastic lenses for it. And the list goes on. And you can find these lenses used really cheap, even brand new really cheap. I know on my Lumix, my GH5, I ran like a $60 50 millimeter lens on it that was just crystal clear. It was fantastic. So yeah, I would say for the best bang for your buck, one of these cameras is fantastic to pick up if you want to. If you're new to shooting and you want to use a camera and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, this is a fantastic option. If you are shooting professionally and you're thinking about buying something small to use for personal use, or like a backup camera or secondary camera, or to capture B-roll, again, this is another fantastic camera to grab for doing that. Would I use it as a primary camera professionally? Absolutely not. It's not designed for that. That's not what it is. This is kind of a consumer level camera with some really nice features to it. But again, you can always pick up an X100V for $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 used, or you can spend $400 to $600 on one of these with a lens and still get phenomenal photos, 4K video, amazing stabilization, and it just looks really cool. So I'm going to leave you with some more of these photos that I just so happen to not have any footage, any POV footage of. So have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, by the way, hit that like and hit that subscribe, please.